Right, how's everybody going, man? I'm here with Run, and we just wanted to have a conversation on the recent violence. Of course, everybody know the young man got shot up last night in Houston. Rest in peace, young Takeoff. My condolences go out to his family and all of his loved ones. Uh, how you doing, Ryan?
Doing great.
Yeah, man. I know I talk to you a lot, and I how often do I talk to you and I tell you another one got killed? Like, how many times have you heard me say that in the last
A
three or
lot of time,
4 years?
over and over
Yeah,
and over.
yeah, yeah. But I understand you had some questions and stuff you wanted to ask me about, pertaining to the culture and stuff like that. And I'm gonna do the best I can. This is a touchy subject for me.
Yeah, so we were talking about this a bit, and you're doing your your breakdown of different groups. I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, I was basically saying, and I was in a rage at that time. I was giving you an example, but basically, first of all, I found out recently that how much money the government they did all these cuts on the education, aspect of things, but they damn near tripled the money into building prisons, and I
Yeah,
found that to be interesting, uh, and it saddened me because I'm thinking that these same kids that are being affected by the cuts in education are getting prisons built for them, possibly, especially in the black community. I find it real strange, being that it's a large percentage of these jails are filled up by African American young men, and for it to be cuts in education. Whereas, and I've been paying attention. A lot more people are sending their kids to private schools who can't afford to go to private school. These young Black Americans. Who is it? It seems to be a all out war on African American men. Now, most people would say we're doing it to ourselves, but it's reasons behind that. Uh, First of all, think about it for a minute. I don't know how much money it was, but they millions of dollars they took out of the educate. That's why, the numbers as far as when they do the numbers versus other countries, and that's why United States get their ass kicked by the Asian kids and stuff. They taking the money away. The rich white folks can send their kids to private schools, so they getting a good education still.
it's not only white folks.
Okay.
Some people have gotten ahead, and they're sending their kids to private
Yeah,
schools.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true. Cause we do got some black folks. You're right. You're right.
Money to those people.
Yeah,
It's
you might
not
as well. You
enough.
might as well, because it is. Because you're right. You got a point. It's more about your economics. But my point is that who they building the jails for?
Right. I'm not saying you're wrong,
Right,
but then
right. No, yeah, I get it. So I just it upsets me, man, and I think that this is
did,
gonna be another situation where it's gonna be a lot of this, a lot of dialogue about it, and people talking, and then people gonna start saying, "Well, ain't nobody doing that," and stuff like that. But I think we have to really, really be more. I want to choose my words carefully. I think as parents, we have to do even a better job than we already doing. Um, Friend of mine lost his son, 14-year-old son, no, 17-year-old son, to a 14-year-old kid a couple of weeks ago. 14-year-old kid shot a 17-year-old kid, took his life. Where a 14-year-old kid left somebody home one morning, and before he can make it back to that home, he had killed another child. Parents have to be more vigilant in the way they're doing things, especially when you got young men in this age bracket. Another friend of mine, Angela, her son got killed a couple of months ago. 15-year-old boy. good kid, innocent, not no gang banger, not involved in none of that. He got killed just by probably being in an area that's, it's a lot of gangs and stuff. So what I'm saying, where are these kids leaving from that morning to go out and commit these crimes? Like, it's adults in these households.
Which also the parents need to keep their kids away from those areas or give them the guidance there.
Yep, that too. But if we live in these areas, what I'm saying, the kids that are doing the crimes, their parents are just as responsible.
Sure.
The guardians are just as responsible. And I say that being a father of teenage boys. I don't know everything, what they doing. I don't. I called you. I call my son a lot. We talk a lot every day anyway. But today, when I found out news about what happened, I called him early this morning. He was in class. It just blanked my mind. I don't want to call my child white, but I wanted to talk to him right then, and I need to get some understanding. And we talked. We had a talk. It was turned into debates at time, but it made me realize that I need to listen to my child even more, because that's the biggest thing he got to me, is that they're not being listened to. Now he said, yeah, he has the luxury of calling me. That's the thing with me and my sons. Before you do anything, before anything you feel, you can call me. Tell your friends they can call me. He said, Dad, everybody ain't got that.
That's right.
He said 80% of the kids in his school don't have what he got. I'm not there. I'm not there to touch him every day. I'm not there, but I'm there. He said there 80% of these boys don't even have, so they ain't got nobody to I needed people when I was a young man. I still need people. I learned from my 16-year-old kid. I learned from you. I learned from this young lady. I learned from people. Still, these kids don't even want to listen to nobody because they felt like nobody's listening to them. So I think we got to do better jobs as parents. We also have to do better jobs as I'm what you consider an OG in the neighborhood. All right, we're gonna stop calling everybody OGs when they ain't doing no. I feel like this is my personal opinion in this situation. I don't think these young men should have been in that place where they were when this murder just took place. That the thing is, Ron, I know you are oblivious to what I'm talking about. Takeoff is a rapper from our city, Atlanta, local Gwinnett County kid, does a great job with the music, but he's a great kid. He's one of the quiet ones. He's very quiet, reserved, and he innocently got killed inside of a bowling alley, 2:00 in the morning at a dice game. My brother, my younger brother, YT, he's a rapper also. He was gambling last night too, but you know where he was? In Vegas with chips. When you get to a certain level in life, you got to not be in the places like dice games are what we have in the hood. Dice games are for guys who trying to come up with more money to guys. Dice games are not for people who already got money to beat up on each other. See, these kids are taking things that we did in the street to really survive off, where we won't have to be doing it. Now these days, these kids are running back to that to do it just to be doing it. All these games were created for us to get out, not to get out and come back to still partake. It's counterproductive. Me being one of the found fathers of hip hop in Atlanta, I can say that I'm disappointed in the OGs, the older guys. Let's get the real information out to these boys. I don't care how much more money they got. All my young partners got more money than me, but I still tell them the truth. And they count on me and they call me. They ask me for advice. My one of my little partners called me today and he said, "Man, I thank God I had you, OG, because the way he move around out here." And he said, "Hey man, I ain't bragging on him. have to get put up on game in certain situations because I'm older now. The young boys have to let me know certain things on I take it in. I'll be like, appreciate it, young boy, and I keep it moving. You have to listen. You can't get so big the way you don't listen. I'm not saying that happened in this case. I'm saying from what I see. Yeah, I know young boys that doing things in the street. They're very successful at it. They get money and they still want to be. And I tell them like, man, won't you go? And dude, this is not forever. Um, Too many kids dying. Too many of these, and I say kid. The boy was 28. I just buried a 28-year-old. It hurts me. I feel bad for the family. Uh, I feel bad for the young man that did it because he's confused. I'm from the game. I can tell you anything about the game. I'm from the game. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I was here when the shit hit town. And I know what it was, what the game was meant to be. It was to get out. And when you get out, you stay out. Meaning when you get out, that means your mentality has to get out too. So now we got a whole generation of kids thinking if things don't go their way, they just gonna crash out. That's new. Crash out meaning that they'll just do whatever. Meaning that they'll walk up to another person in broad daylight and shoot them in the head. Now, the game that I come from, the game that I helped originate, I was here, out here participating in this stuff. Ain't none of this a part of that. We got to change the way we're doing things because we hurting ourselves. And remember what I told you. These y'all young boys, y'all making these babies, y'all having these kids. Y'all love y'all kids more than anything. I know it. I see it. It's a beautiful thing till I see it. I see some of the worst guys you can ever think of they're the greatest fathers. But the thing which our young guys got to understand is these people just took money out of education where your kids got to go through these school systems and built prisons for your babies, man. But if you do the right thing, you teach your children to do the right thing, they can get up through there. They not gonna do the right thing seeing I'm speaking because I done the shit and my kids watched me. I was a little smooth, but they still saw things and they knew things because they told me. I want us to clean our shit up in the house, man. That's where it's gonna start. That cleaned up in the house before we start talking about what Congress can do for us and what everybody can. Let's see what we can do for ourselves. And let's be real with our friends and our family members. And when we see a kid that needs, let's the uncles go grab your nephew, man, and not just try to put him on. Let's do this shit with some love. We need love. I'm a 51-year-old man. I just lost my son. I need love, bro. I feel like I'm out here alone, man. I feel like it shouldn't be like that. All the people I took care of, all these young boys, they out here, they doing what they do to take care of people. We ain't even feeling no love. We ain't doing so. Why we taking all these risks for people? Man, y'all got to love on these boys, man. Care how bad he is, don't care how disappointed he is or whatever. Show him some goddamn love, man. I can't touch mine. I'll do anything just to touch mine. So as far as the numbers and stuff, what you're saying, I forgot how I broke it down. It was raw. I don't know, but basically what I was saying was that in our community, the men are broke up into different groups. You got a certain percentage of men that's I consider like, and I don't want to do that on camera because it'll make it seem like people are better than us, and none of us are better than each other. It's just what it is, and it's how society see us. Certain society, because you have the society, the grand scheme of things, they see us all the same. No matter how much success you have, no matter how much money you got, no matter, it's only 2 or 3 of us that can really get by. All the rest of us, they don't care about that. But the one thing that we can do is take care of our business and raise our boys to do better. Because everybody knows if we get in a situation to where like we're doing right and all we have to do is do right and we're trying to get that job or we're trying to make that dump or we trying to score that touchdown, we're trying to sing that song, or we're trying to build that new, to invent that new thing. Like we be on our shit and we can do it. We ain't getting enough support for a time in life for us to have all these resources. When I was coming up, we had support. People wanted us to do good. Oh, y'all, blah, 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 blah. We had we got all the resources in the world. And the only thing we do when it comes to our young men is we ridicule them and want to beat them up. We celebrate the ones that do good, and they should get celebrated. The ones that doing bad don't always have to do. Man, I didn't turn out to be a bad person. I like to think I turned out to be a pretty good person. I like to think if I had people to invest their time into me, I would have came out. But I'm glad because God got me doing what I need to do, and that's not to knock nobody. Like I say time and time again, I had one of the greatest fathers you can ever have under the circumstances. He did what society asked him to do. He went to the military. He did things for his country, and he took care of me. He just didn't do the other part. But guess what? He didn't know how to do that because this shit been going on for years and years. That's why I'm the type of father I am, right? Because we don't even know how to be fathers. So we don't be fathers. That's why a lot of older black men, they just be angry. The men be hurting inside, man. It ain't no excuse no more. I'm finna break that goddamn cycle. It ain't no fucking excuse. Dig down, do what you got to do, talk to them. I'm just thankful. I'm thankful. I got people in my life to help me, and I believe in the higher being, and I just want everybody to pray. We need to pray for each other, but let's love on each other, man. I promote that. Stop killing. Anybody can kill. It's easy to kill. One more thing I want to say. The things that are taking places in these prisons, my friend, Ron, the things that are taking places in these prisons, I get the phone calls. These kids are not ready for what goes with this stuff. I'm a grown man, and I can't take it to hear it. I know some of these kids going in the system, and they going in and walking around in dresses, full dresses. How in the hell you make a dress in jail? Walking up under men in full-blown relationships with regular men that look like me, because they decided they want to take up a gun and kill another kid. You did some grown man stuff, and now you got to go to prison for a long time. A good friend of mine, very good friend of mine, in 1996, situation, he caught a murder charge, malice murder. 1996, he's still locked up today. He's still in jail right now. He might be 2-3 years away. It's going to be about 30 years he would have spent in jail by the time he get out. Older man like myself, thank God he still look good. He's a smart guy. He has a chance. A lot of us ain't. He's in that 2-3% that I'm telling you about. Man, it's bad out here. So the way this education thing is, y'all, we got to do better. We got to try to. It's an all-out war against us, man. And it ain't just the rappers. Because there's more regular people dying than rappers every day. These young boys dying every day. They ain't no goddamn rapper. They ain't got no millions. They ain't got no diamonds. They ain't got no jewelry. It ain't even about that. I'm hurt about this boy dying last night and the way it happened. I want some of the older guys to start, like, if I knew this young man, if they had spent any time around me, I would have been telling them all the time, hey, man, all that. You want to shoot some dice over here, do some. And this, I say this with full respect because I don't know what happened. And I'm not saying this and no, I'm hurt by it. I just buried my 28-year-old. And I actually like this kid as an artist. I like the way he moved around. It's so fucking sad, man. I'm sorry I talked over you. I talked over the time. I don't know, man. This shit got to stop, man. It got to stop. It's got to stop. I woke up to this morning with about 12, 13 messages. And I see all this, and I'm like, the first thing I think about is one of my kids, and then I see what happened, and I'm like, damn. And to see, one more thing, stop posting, stop pulling y'all fucking phones out. Excuse my language, Ron. Stop pulling y'all phones out after somebody, they got this man laying on the freaking ground, video recording him right after the murder. His family don't know. It's just, we too messy out here, man. We too messy out here, man. Hey, I'm gonna pray for all y'all. Pray for everybody, every race, every color, every. Just us as humans, man. But let's get it together, man. And R.I.P. to the young man, and I'm praying for everybody on both sides, man. We got to get it together, man. I'm out, Ron. Did you have anything else you want to ask me, man, pertaining to this? Because I know, it's like, and this is the thing. This guy is one of my best friends in life, and he's not in our culture. And he asks me questions a lot about us, and I give him. I'm honest to him, and sometimes some of the questions hurt me, and I know he's not. He's doing it. It's some genuine shit. It embarrasses me sometimes. We just got to do better, and we can do better. And if we decide to do better, we'll damn near be the best. And I'm saying that, I'm not saying that to knock nobody. I'm just saying we using, taking all this aggression and stuff and using it in the wrong way. And like I'll say this, I'm gonna end it with this. God gives us all a gift. It's up to you to open it up. It's up to you to find out what it is. Dig down in yourself, find out what it is, and it's up, and open your gift up. Uh, let's clean our hearts out, man. And it isn't such thing as heaven and hell, man. And hey, I'm a tough guy too, but I don't want to go to hell. No, sir. Yeah. You got anything, Run? Anything else?
That's it. Did great.
All right. I'm out, man. Y'all be smooth. Keep